children. It's Uncle Dan the Vinyl Man back with another episode of Uncle Dan's Vintage Vinyl, the show that teaches you Jack because you don't know Jack. So I'm here to teach you. Well, yeah, I am going to teach you Jack today, and I'm pretty sure you don't know Jack because I'm talking about the one and only, the great, rather late, Jack Staulcup. Yes, Jack Staulcup and his orchestra. Yeah, playing at the famous Purple Crackle Club. You've all been over to the Purple Crackle Club over there in East Cape Girardeau, just across the river bridge there. And in fact, at this time we're crossing a river bridge that's a little bit wider than a matchbox. It's awful fun when you cross that bridge when there's a tractor trailer sashaying across from the other side. Anyway, Jack Staulcup. I discovered this album when my brother Al sent me a photo of a copy of it that he'd gotten, which made me, very, very deep green with envy, let's say. Now, I had, before seeing that photo, completely forgotten about Jack Staulcup's existence. But for some reason, it triggered a memory in me of Jack Staulcup, and I knew for some reason, he played the Purple Crackle Club in East Cape Girardeau, Illinois. East Cape Girardeau is just across the Mississippi River from Cape Girardeau. There is no West Cape Girardeau. There's just Cape Girardeau and East Cape Girardeau. Anyway, East Cape Girardeau is over on the Mississippi side, and it's like a lot of towns on the other side of a river from a somewhat larger town. It's sort of the armpit and also the den of iniquity for that town. And of the dens of iniquity in East Cape Girardeau, the Purple Crackle Club was a long time the den of iniquity there. It was a supper club, so they had food, they had bands, they had dancing, and there was a period when it was kind of a schnazzy place. It was, so fancy, it was schmancy, right? But they also had gambling in the back, and I, in fact, at one point acquired a chip from the Purple Crackle Club. I didn't acquire it by playing poker there or playing anything there, by whatever games they had, roulette wheel or whatever. I was never in the Purple Crackle Club. By the time I was old enough to go in the Purple Crackle Club, it was either beyond square or closed. And it had some connection with organized crime out of, and maybe it was that organized crime out of Chicago wanted to get into the Purple Crackle. I can no longer remember. By the way, interesting story about the Purple Crackle Club. It was supposed to be the Purple Grackle Club, like the bird, the Purple Grackle. But people didn't know purple grackles, and they called it the Purple Crackle instead of the Purple Grackle. But I've always thought the Purple Crackle Club was a great name for a nightclub. It sounds exciting. It sounds like a neon lights, right? Crackle. But anyway, the Purple Crackle Club, and it was in business for a long, long time. Eventually, we changed hands a number of times, and the spot where it was is last I understand a strip club. Because the East Cape Girardeau, across the river from Cape Girardeau, where there is a college, university, one of my alma maters, almas mater. I don't know what the plural of that is. Anyway, I graduated from there back in '79, and at that time, the drinking age in Southern Illinois was 19, I think. It may have been 18, and it was 21 in Missouri. So students from the university would go over to East Cape Girardeau to get booze and drink. Although most of the drinking was done at the Hush Puppy and not at the Purple Crackle because it was square. But they had over at Hush Puppy, they had exotic dancers, strippers, and all. So anyway, I was excited to learn that there were also, I'd forgotten that Jack Staulcup was a thing at all, ever, with anyone, and was excited to learn that there were some albums out. So thanks, Al, for that. And I got this one, and I ended up with two more. that one, then Jack Staulcup and his orchestra at the Purple Crackle Club. Meanwhile, back on the bandstand, and then Let's Dance with Jack Staulcup and his orchestra. We're not going to be dancing with Jack Staulcup and his orchestra anymore because Jack Staulcup died a long time ago. But that doesn't matter. The music is all big band stuff. You know, you're gonna be hard pressed to find this. I found all these on Discogs, and they're they're thin on the ground. There's another one out there. I forget the name of it. There's another one out there I've got on the want list, and if you happen to have whatever that is, I'd appreciate it. But the stuff's thin on the grounds. Request Time with Jack Staulcup and his orchestra from about '64. I don't have that, but be great to get it. Mr. Staulcup also wrote a short book, the title of which I'm blanking on right now, but it was a book or a pamphlet or something that was basically against rock and roll music. He was again it was very deleterious. Funny thing, he played big band, of course, jazz music, and in the 20s. Jazz music was seen as very deleterious to the morals of the country. It was considered, primitive jungle rhythms and that sort of thing, and was leading to, to the decay of society. And it probably did, it's either that or something like capitalism or something like that led to the decay of society, and we can't have that. So let's say it was jazz, and then rock and roll. Let's do that. Let's blame it on those, and rap now. Maybe something else, I don't know, hip-hop, whatever the young folks are listening to that's led to the decay of society that's been decaying forever as far as I can tell. Anyway, the music is fine. Staulcup, who played tenor sax, was he was decent. The musicians were completely competent. The arrangements are fine, and the recordings and pressings are actually very good. The albums sound good. They sound good, especially let's say played on an old Garrard Type A. Maybe at this time played with a modern. You might take your Garrard Type A and throw an Audio-Technica AT3600 at $25 cartridge in it. Inexpensive cartridge, but it might sound very good on your old Garrard or Gerard Type A. Works out well for that. Back to these three albums. And you get a little picture there as a Purple Crackle Club here, So, and I can say it looked, a nice architectural rendering of it. They weren't going to have I don't know why they didn't have a photo of it. They've got a photo of the band here, and you can see Mr. Staulcup in there. And then you get him on the back, and he looks like either a band leader or a school principal, one of the two, or maybe your local insurance salesman. But yeah, down there in southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, he was apparently a barnstormer, one night stand sort of guy, and started actually in 1929. He had his band going from 1929. He suffered a heart attack in '73. But the band continued for some time after that, and continued even after his death. His wife, his widow, tried to hold it together, but couldn't manage it. Anyway, this album dates from, according to the internet, there's no date on it, but according to the internet, it dates to about 1965. There's somebody on there who knows more than I do, which is, basically everybody on there. This one dates to about 1968, and that makes sense. It has the song "Release Me," please release me, let me go, because I don't love you anymore, which had been a big hit in the mid-'60s for, I think that was Engelbert Humperdinck who had that as a big hit. Although, I'm blanking on her name. There's little Esther Phillips Esther Phillips had a much, much better version of it. Anyway, that's that one. About '68, and then this one with Jack Staulcup looking, I just love that photo of him. Ain't that cool? Yeah. Anyway, this has Proud Mary on it, and it is the Creedence song. And that's from, that was from '69. So, that puts this as no earlier than 1969, and probably, let's say 1970 or a little thereafter. And he was born in 1912, and so, 1912, I mean, he could be certainly, very late 50s, early 60s makes sense with that photo. One of the things I kind of like about this, the stuff is actually perfectly listenable. Again, well recorded, well pressed. On vinyl, it sounds really good. But I like it, a record of a guy who made his living for decades, from the late 20s into the 70s, as a band leader, as a musician, and just kept plugging away. So the man loved it. The man loved his music, and just kept plugging away at it. And it's cool to me too, because hey, Purple Crackle Club, that was a cool spot when I was young. It's never there, and it never will be there, but cool spot when I was young. Anyway, this is one of those things, you don't have to listen to, just what's on top 40 or anything like that. Or, whatever anybody else wants you to. There's stuff, listen to it, figure out what was good about it. Jack Staulcup worked hard on this, and the musicians in his band. He had, 8 or 9 people in that band. He lists, on this one, he's got 10 people in the band, a 10-person band. 4 saxes if you count baritone, trumpet, 2 trumpets, there's trombone, drums, bass, and piano. You see them all here except the baritone sax player, the baritone sax player. I don't see it. I don't see a baritone sax player in that one. Tenors, and he's got an alto there, but I don't see a baritone sax. But listen to it, and, imagine stuff about it. It's kind of fun. Anyway, this is Uncle Dan the Vinyl Man saying once more, hit like, hit subscribe, and au revoir, and in addition, à bientôt.